Cue fart sounds. And we're here with Lauren Light.
Well, guys,
welcome to the Stu.
Did you not know we were recording? I said action, man. I said action.
How's your week been?
Oh, it's been good, man. Just dealing with work stuff and, everything. I got sidetracked in my mid-sentence while the door was opening. I was thinking we should close that door.
Yeah, I did.
Okay, cool.
I did close the door. So,
okay, they're all giggles.
we have some guests in the Stu today. It's going to be a good episode. We'll introduce them and then we'll let them do a little blurb later. But we have Lauren Light and William. I'm not even going to even pronounce your last name correctly, so I'll let you say it.
Nesmith. And I did not know we were recording.
We have a really cool episode for you today. We get into the argument that pop music's easy. Artists using merch to sell more records, which is both sketchy and super smart.
Yeah.
I
think I'm on the super smart side, but we'll talk about it.
Okay, well. And then the importance of co-writing. But
oh yeah.
Also, I'm going to drink a beer from our someday sponsor, Mick Ultra. If you want a light beer for your low calories, or if you're doing keto like I do, I'm bad at it right now, but if you're doing keto like I do, 2.6 carbs per 16 ounces. You got your friend, you still enjoy the night.
Can't beat the light, crisp taste of the superior beer, Michelob Ultra.
It is my favorite beer, so, But thank you guys so much. This is the Stu. So thank y'all so much. We're going to introduce our guests really quick before we jump into it too deep. We have Lauren Light. Tell us a little about yourself.
Well, I'm Lauren Light. I know it's always weird to describe yourself. So I'm a singer-songwriter, full-time musician. That's pretty much the description of it. I like it. Done. That feels good.
Is that it?
Coffee addict. No, I'm full-time doing touring and music and co-writing, and that's what I do a whole bunch.
You play some dope festivals, though.
I do. I play a lot of festivals, fairs, colleges, all that kind of market. So
that's the way to
you
get
played
paid.
with a really cool band a couple weeks ago.
I did. Yeah. We did. We had a good show with. Have you ever heard of Lowborn before?
I haven't.
By chance.
By
Fuck
chance.
Those guys.
Sounds like trash, but
they kind of were. But I'm just kidding.
It was a pretty good show for Sunday, though.
No, it was actually a really good show.
I wasn't expecting that many people, but.
No, a lot of people showed out.
Yeah, I think all the...
I showed out.
Wes did show out. We already talked about him saying the wrong words, so...
It's okay.
That's what happens when you drink too much Mick Ultra.
Brought to you in part by...
Only 2.6 carbs.
Wes was wasted with only 6 carbs in his system.
No, not true. I overdid it that night, but it is okay. And then...
how many carbs do you have in the system? Only 6.
One of my other favorite people to write with, William.
Nesmith
or Nesmith?
Nesmith. I mean, it's spelled like Nesmith, so I understand.
I've been saying... In my defense, I've been saying Nesmith for so long in my head that, I've heard you say it a couple times, and I was like, fuck.
Well, William said
and now,
his last name.
it just...
Lauterbach?
Lauterbach.
See? So we're even.
Now y'all are even.
I mean, when I first heard of Justin Bieber, I thought it was Bieber.
Bye, bye, bye.
That's another.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So what do you do, sir?
All right. So I am also a singer-songwriter, kind of performing locally, wineries, breweries, restaurants, and stuff like that. Left my full-time cushy marketing job in August of 2018, and so now I've got this wonderful part-time marketing gig that allows me to work remotely. I go into the office like an hour or two a day, and I can focus my time on booking more gigs and writing songs and pitching more artists. So hopefully, next year is going to be like full of all cool opportunities and things. I'm excited.
High key making moves and,
Yeah,
and
it's
killing.
great.
When are you gonna come record some dope jams with us?
Whenever.
Whenever.
Everywhere.
Valid point. I see what you're saying. That makes sense.
He's gonna be our soundboard for today. So
There's gonna be a lot of.
Cool.
oh yeah.
So I'm gonna hop into our first thing today. When y'all hear someone say that pop is easy to write, how y'all feel?
God.
Definitely not. Definitely not. I think things that seem to be easier are the most complex things to write because you have to go into a structure that should be easy. And you
Yeah.
have to make it where everybody can sing along and have words, like where after you hear the chorus once, it's memorable, a hook. So that might seem easy, and then the end results, if it sounds like it was easy, then you did your job right.
Absolutely.
Well, I
So-
think this is a pretty insulting argument, but I don't fucking care. a lot of people that that I talk to, they're like, man, pop's so easy. I could do that. Da, da, da. I'm like, okay, well, you haven't. And they're like, well, I don't want to, write bad pop music just for money. Like, yeah, you would. If you could write one giant Justin Bieber song and then be in your whatever band forever and all you had to do is write it, you would. Everyone would.
For sure,
Millions?
yeah.
Are you kidding me?
I just want to be like, you mean to tell me you'll work your stupid job, potentially in a warehouse, delivering something, some
Or even
terrible
for
job that no
whatever
one
job.
likes. Yeah, it doesn't matter. Any job. And you'd rather not write, you'd rather not write a dope pop song one time.
You're too good of an artist to write a pop song.
It's like,
God.
please.
We kind of talked about this when our first episode when we talked about keeping it simple.
Yeah.
And I shared that meme that was like what it's like to write pop music, and it was a MIDI keyboard with 4 keys. And it's
Yeah, I
like,
saw that.
and
I
it's
saw that
like,
too.
yeah, I get it. There's a lot of this similar notes being used, but like,
It's the chord phrases.
Yeah, I
it's
mean-
the vocal melodies. It's the lyricism that is on the edge of cheesy, but like in the right context, you're like, man, I wish I could have thought of saying it that way.
yeah.
This is this, and like, the thing that is funniest to me is like I've been in like aggressive rock bands.
Yeah.
I've been in like any kind of rock. I've either played it or been in that kind of band or I've written that kind of song, and it's like writing songs as like a heavy rock band was never hard until I was like, well, what if I was writing like radio rock, like top 40 rock, or like songwriting didn't feel like it got hard to do until I wanted to write stuff that I like was good. Like, not to say that, being Indian out there and wild and like whatever you want to do can't be good, but I'm just saying like I think a good song is something that relates to a lot of people and they get it on the first pass, and it's not something you have to hear 10 times to go, oh, like they're speaking to my soul because you got high and listened to it all day. I think a good objective song, you hear it once and you're like, oh shit, yeah, I get it, makes sense.
I heard this thing.
Feeling the-
All right, sorry about that. We had a little bit of technical
Bless it.
difficulties.
Bless it.
But what I was trying to say was that I forgot what I was saying. What was I talking about?
I said a good song objectively is something you hear one time.
Oh, and then I was like, it can cross genres.
Yeah.
Typically a good song can cross genres.
But I don't think it needs to be like a country song into a hip hop world, but like,
Which they do kind of.
well, yeah, but it is to say
Nowadays.
like the top grossing country song that spent the most time at the charts is BB Rexa and Florida Georgia Line.
Yeah.
It's a good song.
With
Period.
Florida
Like people can be
Georgia
like,
Line
oh,
always kind of just like
Yeah.
breaking genre.
But they do have their new record is "Who Said We Ain't Country," which is pretty funny because everyone keeps saying how not country they are. So I kind of like they're taking that head on.
well, but even you look at like Dan and Shay, who right now Tequila is a top 40 track.
It's a good
Like,
song.
yeah, it's incredible. So that's where I'm at. Is I think, you know, people can play it off like it's the easiest thing to do, but like, I think if that were the case, there would be more people doing it.
I think Jack Antonoff said in a podcast or video or something that the chorus has to relate to other people, and you can even be a little specific in your verses. I think it's a testament to writers, honestly, when you can write a chorus that resonates with so many people. You know,
Yeah.
to pick the right amount of words, to pick the right amount of syllables and things that are going to just have that impact on like a wide array of people.
Yeah.
It's really challenging to do that.
And even to tell, because it's on the Writer Then the Writer Is podcast, to tell your story in the verses, and then everyone's story pertaining to it in the chorus, is hard, you know. And there's a John Bellion video I think I've talked about before, where they're talking about something like this, and you're not dumbing it down. It's not writing good stuff like this isn't dumbing it down. It's saying it so precisely, like with so much craft and specificity. It's not a real word, but you get what I'm
It is
saying.
now.
Specificity.
We knew what you meant.
Specificity.
But you're saying something so
Dictionary.
so specifically without it being cheesy or it being weird, and that it is hard. And I've been in rooms, with y'all in Nashville, other rooms around North Carolina, writing with different people, and I've done rock writes that an hour and a half, and it's good, and that band's getting pitched to labels, and people are interested.
You have a full song in an hour
Yeah.
and a half.
And I've done pop songs that can be like that, but I can't count on one hand how many times it's happened with pop stuff. Or I can. It's less than 5 times in 5 or 6 years that I've had it happen, whereas I've lost count of how many times in a rock write. It's like, oh cool, we've 30 minutes. That came out real fast.
Yeah.
The top line for this was so quick. Like it's sometimes it's just kind of like, not to say that rock is easier than pop. I think top 40 rock radio is still difficult. But it's just a different market. You get away with different types of things.
What is it? The Netflix show West Side. The guy meets with one of the producers for Bruno's record 24 Karat Magic, and he said that, or it was either 24 Karat Magic or, yeah, I think it was 24 Karat Magic, that it took a year for them to find the right flows and things to put that together. They had put your pinky rings up to the moon, and they're like, we know we've got something, and they were so protective of that it took them literally a year to put all that together. Cher's Believe actually took a decade to come together.
God.
A writer had the chorus for Believe, but they spent years muddling over verses and who was going to sing it and stuff.
Jeez. I did not know that. That's pretty
That's
wild.
Demi Lovato's Heart Attack was a couple of years old before she heard it.
See, there you go.
Yeah.
Before she heard it.
Yeah.
And then she had a heart attack. Because if she ever did that,
She would probably have a heart attack.
that's ha.
Did you say heart attack?
I did.
Heart attack.
Our heart attack, cack. Is that Billy Joel?
Are you having a stroke?
No. It's like in between giggles.
Too many Michelobes.
I have like the comedian sitting right beside of me right now.
Laugh.
This is half of our rights with them.
Oh, I know.
You sing one melody and then he says, "Oh, that's already a song," and he sings it.
Or like somebody says something completely. Right. No, it's Meow.
No.
Someone says something completely normal, and I just bust out laughing for like 30 minutes,
Or
trying to get back on track.
you tell a story about someone dying.
Oh no!
Oh, jeez.
Uh-oh, you started it, Wes. You
I'm
started
not morbid. Or am I? I do watch a lot of Dateline. It was a Friday night. Keith Morrison is the best announcer for Dateline. He needs to do all of those. It was a. It's Thursday, right? It was a Thursday evening. Lauren, Zane, and Wes were sitting around the microphones, recording the podcast. But then, coming up, I don't know. Did the husband do it? Yes, but we're gonna stretch this out. For
Always
2
the
hours.
husband. It's always.
I'm gonna need you to record a lot of things for us in that voice.
Yeah.
That's the thing we talked about.
Yeah.
I'm not even kidding. When we're done with the podcast, I have a genuine question for you in that voice, because
Oh my gosh.
there's an actual thing for. I'll just lay it out here. Everyone on the podcast in here. Fuck it. We're gonna try.
Exclusive.
We're gonna build a set around the concept of like sitcom TV. So the intro to the set is gonna be like
Next show's gonna be such a storyline. I'm so excited.
it's gonna be like a sitcom narrator narrating us coming to the stage,
Yeah.
and then each song will, like, the way it'll tie together is the narrator will talk and tell that story, and we haven't worked it out yet. But
What's the 1975 video? At
Is it one of the new ones?
At the end, he's pleasuring himself in the back of the car. What song is that?
we would definitely need
Somebody
to
else.
sing over that.
And is it the song with the clowns in
I
the
heard was
beginning?
pleasuring himself in
Oh,
the
okay,
car.
so I'm-
Well, yes.
Okay, yeah. It's gonna be along the
Recognize.
lines of like the awkwardness of that.
Let me
Yeah.
stop.
But
We
they're not
want it-
listening,
we want it to
so.
be
Not always
uncomfortable.
rainbows and butterflies. It's compromise and it moves us along. Yeah.
What song is that?
She Will Be Loved.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah.
As soon as I was like, that's Maroon 5, but I couldn't think of the song.
Well, now when you quote Maroon 5, it's girls like you love fun. Yeah, me too. When I'm done with I thumb through, I need a girl like you. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
All right, let's go.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Next, what was the next topic? Let's see.
We don't know.
Oh, that kind of goes perfect. We wanted to talk about artists using digital record sales with all of their merch items online.
You need to phrase it better, because that's not what they're doing.
What are you talking about?
They're selling a shirt and giving away a digital copy,
Yeah.
and that counts as a record sale, even though no one bought the record.
So you buy
Smart.
So you buy merch, like I said, and then it comes with a digital sell of the record. Whatever. But yeah,
Travis
so
Scott do that.
Yes.
And is that why Nicki Minaj was upset that her album wasn't #1 because he quote unquote cheated?
yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So like that's pretty like we're on the fence. We've talked about this a lot. It's when you have numbers like those guys, that's pretty wild because I think they might be selling them at the shows too. I'm not sure.
Now, is this merch just for the album? Like it has the album art, it has lyrics on it, or is it
If
just
you
like you
buy
have a clothing line or something?
anything from Travis Scott's merch store, you get a CD.
Now his merch like supporting
I'm gonna find out.
the artist.
Travis Scott merch.
Okay. It's not like, Cardi has the makeup stuff, right? Like if I buy some Cardi lipstick,
But
I'm
see,
gonna
that's
get the same.
different.
That's not.
It's not. It's
totally
not,
different.
It's not
Yeah.
his
He's talking about-
products. It's his artist merch.
But- But I'm on the fence because, like, I get it. You're trying to boost your record sales because it does get you more radio time. It does get you more, so on and so on. Like, it does get you other things. My hang up with it is that many people didn't buy your album. And some of these artists, you buy 5 shirts, you get 5 copies of the record. And, like, yeah, exactly. Oh.
Yeah.
So, like, here you are. You buy a hat and a shirt, you get 2 records, and you already bought it once. So now you have you have 3 versions of the record, and it's like I get that we live in an environment where you're giving away music anyway. Spotify,
For sure.
Apple Music,
YouTube.
shit, yeah.
Just put it on your phone
Yeah.
without us.
So, and I'm fine with the concept of giving away music, but if someone's looking for numbers, what's stopping a band that's never released a song releasing their one single, and then walking through downtown for the next week, giving away a CD with a single on it, and counting those. What's stopping an artist from selling, like opening a merch store, and like, you know what I mean? Like, there's so many ways to cheat the system and make all these things look good in your favor. And so what's, like, you know, what's stopping us from doing that? And then, you know, hitting up Billboard or whoever and being like, hey, we moved 300,000 records in a week and we're not signed and we don't have this. Like, it would be game changing for us. But then when someone gets involved and they're like, oh, we want to help, and they start digging into, like, are those numbers real? No, those numbers aren't real. They're painfully inflated. And
straight up on this site, everything has a digital album. If you buy the gold head plastic figure,
yikes! Why would you want
it
that?
comes with the album.
No.
Terrifying.
It comes with the album plus
is
a
that?
digital album. $95.
It is $95.
so
Why?
Everything.
Let's make a
that's
golden
pretty
head
wild,
of
man.
me
I
and
mean,
sell it at
even
I wouldn't pay
shows.
that
the
for a
vinyl
concert
comes with a
ticket,
digital
but,
album.
You know.
The CD comes with a digital album.
So you're buying one CD and you're buying two CDs.
Yeah.
So for every one album sold, you're getting two albums. So you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, and I guess it's different. His label's doing it to inflate those numbers so that he looks better at the charts. But like, what happens whenever, like, my thing is, the reason I think it's cheating and it's kind of shitty is how much longer before this is what happens.
All the time.
And now you can't, numbers don't exist. Now that's not a metric that you can track success because any fucking dickhead artist can do that.
Dang. Well, I guess I'd say, like, I'm sure when streaming came on the scene, that just, like, changed the game in so many ways, and people had to rethink how numbers and things were recalculated. Similarly, like, there needs to be a committee or team of people to say, all right, if you're going to make a sale from this, then this counts as this. You know, so, like, something about, you know, like, what, I'm trying to think. Like, when an album goes number one, so many streams count as an album sale or something like that. So, you know, there needs to be, like, another category created and defined by, like, a crackerjack legal team to say, you know, this many shirt albums equates one record sale or something.
I could see that being a compromise.
I mean, a shirt with an album to me isn't a huge deal, but an album with an album seems kind of ridiculous.
Is an album with an album?
So,
Yeah, that's what we were just looking at.
Okay.
All the like it was
Yeah.
vinyls with an album, which even still might.
But the vinyl,
You get
like,
a Blu-ray
yeah.
with a DVD.
oh, but no.
True.
So
That is
the
true.
vinyl with the digital copy
Or
doesn't
the
bother
Blu-ray with
me
a digital
because
copy.
people have been doing that for years. Because if you get just the vinyl, you can't listen to it anywhere else, and
Yeah.
there's a reason you should buy two copies of it. But when you're selling the CD with a digital version, and you're selling a shirt with a digital version, and you're selling the digital version with a digital version, like
I don't know if they'll regulate it unless everybody starts doing it, because honestly, when you look an artist up, yeah, CD sales matters when you're like selling out coliseums, but until you're on that level, what numbers matter is your streams. Like, as a like individual artist, which is 90% of the artists out there, are, you know, well, I got this many streams on Spotify. You don't talk about your CD sales. Like, streams
yeah. But
are where it's at.
if Lowborn had sales comparable to our Spotify streams, we would talk about it.
I mean, yeah. But even if we did what he's doing, the numbers wouldn't matter to where it meant anything to him.
Well, no, but that's what I'm saying is they could. If we went as far, like, because Taylor Swift did it on the Reputation tour where she was selling shirts and tickets, and if you bought a ticket, you got the record, and it drove her CD sales. She did better.
She always does something like that with the last couple albums. Like 1989 had Polaroids, where you had to buy multiple copies to get
all
the
of them.
Polaroids. I mean, that's similar to...
But she has a good tactic without seeming
Well, but she's
slimy
giving,
about it.
yeah, and she, like, not, don't get me wrong. I'm right now, if you're going to inflate your numbers, it's just hard for me to find value in the numbers, period.
Yeah.
because that's like that band that I don't remember their name. They released an album of silence on Spotify.
Not Wolfpack, was it? No.
Maybe that sounds familiar. I don't remember, but I know that
I'm probably.
I know that they released it like a full album of
Silence, yeah.
silent tracks, and they made real money, like a lot of money, because their fan base just went and played it,
They had all their fans play it nonstop.
and they went like it didn't matter, and so that's the Spotify, that is the streaming equivalent of stacking numbers to me.
Which also, if you want to support your local artist, make a playlist of that local artist, play it on Spotify, and go to sleep. Turn the volume down.
It was Wolfpack.
I mean, it's there's ways to cheat everything, and I just found out that there's Spotify play farms that
I saw that.
I learned
But
that.
Spotify's taking those shits down.
Yeah, once they're realizing, because they're tracking they're tracking the demographics and locations. So
Step away from the phone. Could you imagine having to unplug the chargers for all of those?
damn it.
95 iPhones on the wall. 95 iPhones. You take one down. You take
Break
another
it
one
on
down.
the ground.
94.
Good
We need
Lord.
more. We need a more syllabic phone to put in that. Da 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 da. 94 na 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 na. 1 2 3 4. 94 na 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 na. What's a phone with
Google
4 syllables?
Androids.
94 Google Androids on the wall. 94 Google Androids.
Well, they're not
You
Google
take
Androids,
one
they're
down,
Google
break on the
Pixels.
ground. 94
Didn't Google make a
Google Pixels on the.
Yeah, there you go.
Dude, this is way off topic. I might convert to the Pixel.
What? Android?
Apple forever, Apple forever.
Yeah, God,
It is
what
a,
is
Pixel's
it's a
not
shame.
Android.
I have an Apple
Oh, is
Watch.
it not?
My phone is literally shackled to my wrist, and I will always be an Apple.
The Google Pixel's not an Android. It is
Is
a
it
Google
not?
Pixel. It is everything about it's made in Google.
It's got
the
a better
camera,
phone, I'm sure. A better phone. It's got a better camera.
The camera
Yes.
is better.
Every
Everything
Android
about-
user ever says, yeah,
I will not disagree
better
with you. As
camera.
an Apple user,
and then
I
they
would.
No,
send
but
me
hold on.
they send me a video and it's like
I don't know,
blurry as hell. I'm like,
my-
oh yeah, it looks great.
My camera's
Really?
on my Android is pretty fantastic.
No.
Yeah, and then your Snap stories look like crap. I'm always like, I can't even
That's
tell
a
what's
Google
going
Apple
Pixel
on.
forever.
picture.
Apple forever. I will never switch.
No filter, nothing. As a Google Pixel picture.
Oh.
Right? And it looks great. I will not argue with
get-
you.
But I'm
get
sure
a
the
picture
iPhone
this
10
good-
photos look good.
Yeah, on a fucking iPhone 10, I have an 8. I can't even use fucking portrait mode because I don't have an 8 Plus. If I
Right.
had an 8 Plus, I wouldn't give a shit about the
I
Google
have an
Pixel.
iPhone 6. I don't know what you're complaining about.
That's your bitch ass fault.
You do?
This is a 6S Plus.
No way. Well, you've taken great care of it.
Thank you.
Zane's screen is destroyed.
Oh, that's not a protector?
I got a splinter the other day. Swipe.
Just understand,
there's
Zane
a crack
could
on my phone.
Zane
Someone
could
slam
have-
my finger on the car door.
So sorry.
Zane could have a protector.
And
he'd
I'm a
still
piano
break it.
player, Lauren. How could you?
Sorry.
I've
I felt
seen
bad about
Zane
that.
change like 5 phone screens.
I have never. Well, I'm not gonna say that since I have never broken a cell phone cover screen via Android.
Just YOLOing it here.
And I don't
No
have a
case.
case at all. So hopefully tonight I don't actually drop it.
Well, since we're talking about cheating, I guess that goes into co-writing.
Co-write.
Segway.
Segway!
Boom. It's too high.
Segway, party time, excellent.
On the radio.
Have y'all never
In
seen
the
Wayne's
morning.
World?
Wayne's World party time.
I didn't.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
didn't catch that.
I got you.
How are
Went
you the
over my
oldest
head.
one here and you just a
Ooh.
I just don't watch bad shows, you know?
You're not the oldest, are you?
He is.
How old are you?
How old are you?
I'm 28.
Ooh,
Me
ooh, wah, wah,
What
wah.
month?
September.
October.
Oh.
so you're the oldest.
I'm the oldest. So. Okay, I'm cool with that.
Wah, wah, wah. I'm
know.
using your catchphrase against you. Let me just say, I'm so unoriginal. Lauren has at least 6 catchphrases that I have just stolen.
And what are they?
Bless it.
Bless
Found it.
Found it.
Oh, wait. Bless it. Found it. Gosh. There are more, I promise.
Is that one? Or
Oh no, because we never know what to eat. Like when we go and eat stuff, and she's like, "What you feeling?"
I
yeah.
didn't say my Lanta.
Oh, my Lanta. Yeah. Okay, my Lanta. Oh, or like truthful statement followed by just playing.
just playing.
I hate y'all. Just playing.
That's so true.
Y'all get on my damn nerves. Just playing.
Just playing. I do. People are very confused. It's because I want to seem nice all the time.
Can I just say that
You
my
are
favorite,
so nice.
my favorite Southern phrase is still, "Oh, bless your heart."
Bless your heart.
It is. It's a good one.
It basically means I fucking hate. Fuck you.
Yeah. Fuck
Yeah.
you.
In the nicest of manners.
Hey, my car got stuck. Oh, bless your heart. What they're actually saying, the conversation in real English is, my car got stuck. You're a dumb son of a bitch.
True facts.
But they hide it. They hide it, and oh, bless your heart.
All Southern people.
People are like, Southern charm is so real. I'm like, no. It is rudeness masked.
Someone said
in
bless me
religion.
today.
Speaking of Southern, I really want to try that Bluebell ice cream Christmas cookies.
No, I haven't seen it.
Yeah, it's got like snickerdoodle. It's got a bunch of it's like sugar cookie snickerdoodle, and it's not anywhere.
The funny
in
thing
the
about
area.
Bluebell is if you haven't heard the commercials,
Oh my God! It's so ridiculous. Bluebell tastes just like the good days for who?
but even worse is like I was this one commercial. It was like here it goes.
Sorry.
I'm upset that everyone in the
So-
room is laughing about racism.
Racism.
What?
Oh jeez.
Oh no, that's completely over with. That doesn't exist anymore.
What I was gonna say is, at the end of the commercials, it goes, "If you can't find it, please ask." Like they must be hurting in sales.
Please ask.
Please ask.
Fucking ask someone at Walmart. They'll show you where it is. Don't wait around and not eat our ice cream. Fucking find it.
They just have a back room full of old Bluebells, just like
All of it's got frostbite.
I mean, who approved that commercial? Somebody in a room in like the 25th floor of this giant skyscraper came up there and had a nice suit on and said, "Here's what we do. We say, Bluebell tastes just like the good old days. We put it in the South, and we say, would you boys like some homemade ice cream?" I mean, I don't know. I mean, because the Colonel, like KFC, he's got the white suit and everything, and I'm sure he was like in that era.
Yeah.
But I mean, no one like associates that with racism.
No.
There's just something very racist.
about Bluebell.
Just the paint, you know. Does it make the ice cream taste better? I mean, I just you can
sound
just taste the racism.
The taste of oppression.
I haven't had Bluebell since I mean,
It is
I'm gonna-
really
And
good.
I've never
ice
had
cream.
Bluebell either.
It's really good, actually.
of course.
All right, so what are our topics?
What was the next topic?
We were talking about,
We were talking about how important it is to co-write songs.
or if is it cheating?
Is it cheating to
What?
co-write songs?
What we do pretty much every time we write. On this topic, there was we had a Facebook group argument, and
Oh, what?
this guy basically said, if you need co-writing, you should probably reassess your career and do a different job.
What
And I
was he
ju-
doing?
I don't know.
I can already,
Musician.
He's
I can already tell,
an idiot, but
and I'm sure he's gonna like what I just.
we don't know
I
him
can't
personally.
imagine he would listen to our podcast.
We don't know him
Oh, okay,
personally.
cool.
But anyways, it just drives me insane. I mean, what does co-writing mean to y'all? I mean, do you value it? I mean, obviously, I
here.
think you do a
For
little
sure.
bit.
Yeah, I mean it's totally awesome. I think you can get through the process a lot faster. You've got that built-in filter to bounce ideas off of, because you might go off like far right in this direction thinking, oh, this is cool, the world's gonna feel this.
And I'm gonna stop you.
Yeah. Like Lauren and I wrote a song called Ultraviolet, and when I brought it to her, it was very much just like a singular love, like a love between two people, and she had the fantastic idea to open this out to like
An orgy.
Exactly.
no, I mean just like world love, like as a world, like we all need to open our hearts and like a love, a world community.
Yeah, like beyond
love.
sight and beyond like what you think and perceptions, and just like kind of more clear.
And I never would have taken it in that direction by myself.
Yeah.
Similarly, all the ideas and things that we've done in these co-writes, I don't think one person would have just gone in that.
Well, because we all come from such different backgrounds and such different writing styles that we're all going to bring in our own thing, and it's going to come to be a product that just sounds so unique in itself.
I think a struggle with co-writing, though, is in that same sense, is when there's 4 or more people, you know, someone has a meaning or a topic in a direction, someone hears a line and goes, it should mean this, and then we go down that rabbit hole, and then another line pops up. You have to really check yourself that you don't take 4 different meanings and try to make it one. You have to come together as a unit, I feel like, and that can be a struggle sometimes if we're not all in the same spot or the same, you know, setup mindset. And I think we've struggled with that here before, the 4 of us, you know, when we're writing, really staying on path of what the direction is. Like, what is the goal of this chorus? What are we trying to say? Let's make sure we say it clearly.
Yeah.
You know, because metaphors sometimes are cool, but you can lose people like that. You know, because what you know, it might mean something to you, but it means the exact opposite to somebody else.
So, to both of you, Wes and Zane, when you work with artists, I'm sure you get stuff all the time, like where you're writing a song completely from scratch. Like, here's what I want to say, let's go. And I'm sure sometimes you also get like pieces of things. Someone has a melody, someone has lyrics, or people might have more or less semi-completed songs. What, working as co-writers, like, which do you find is easier to work in? To dig into a song that's almost there, or just start something new from scratch?
It depends on who we're working with.
Yeah.
If it's for Lowborn, then it's pretty much always starting from scratch, unless I by myself or Zane by himself have a topic that's really weighing on us, or we build a track by ourselves and then bring it to the other person. We're like, yo, I think this is sick.
Yeah.
Would you want to work on it? But when we're working with outside artists, I like both, because if an artist has a very clear vision of what they want, then starting from scratch, where we kind of have our hands in it all over the place, might not be best for the song. And, you know, ultimately the goal is for us to just kind of fill the gaps. So if an artist comes in with a track and they're like, I really need this chorus to be good and I'm bad at top line, cool, well, let's figure out what you're doing. Let's figure out what this track is going to be in the next track and the next track, what your end goal is going to be, and then we'll write that song that you need to reach that goal. And so it really just ultimately depends on who we're working with to determine whether I am going to have more fun from scratch or more fun from just halfway through. Yeah. With y'all, I really like starting both, because sometimes we'll do like this week we have a track, and then a couple of weeks ago we went from scratch, and
That's
Run came out
song.
dope. It's incredible.
I wish you could hear it.
Coming soon.
Coming soon.
But then, you know, even when we've started with a track and then built on top of the track, with y'all it's always fun, but with other artists, starting from scratch isn't always fun, because it's like,
well,
you know,
they've never co-wrote either.
Yeah.
That's the thing. You're digging into something new. That's something you have to learn how to do, and it takes a lot of practice.
Well, and a lot of people are like, they feel like you want to change their band or change what they're doing.
Yeah.
And the goal is always to just create the best songs for what they want.
Yeah.
You know, someone that comes in and they sound like Blink-182, like I don't want them to not be Blink-182.
But we already have one.
Exactly. Like how do we make you you? Or how do we make this band that sounds like Bring Me the Horizon their own thing? And so, you know, it's challenging, but that's part of the fun is finding something original inside of something that exists and then growing it enough to where it becomes its own thing.
Yeah. Sometimes starting from scratch, I mean, you've kind of hit on it all, but there's a lot of layers to it. So, you know, when an artist comes in and doesn't know their end goal, that's what makes it hard. If someone brings us a half-written song, goes, I want it to sound kind of like this, but like I know what I want it to say, we usually knock those out in one day. Because we have a goal, we're all on the same page. When someone goes, I want to sound like this artist, I want to sound like this artist, and then I go, well, what do you mean? Those are two different artists. You want to be successful is what you're telling me. You don't want to sound like that. You just want to sound like success. And a lot of times, I mean, that's a real thing. People hear pop
Man,
I
music.
want to sound like money, please.
I want to sound like I paid my water bill with my music.
People, and the crazy thing is when you start talking, I won't get into specifics because they'll know who I'm talking about. But
Specificity.
Someone sent us some
then?
references,
I don't think that made it.
some references that were basically like radio, and then way underground. And I was like, these aren't
Close.
remotely similar. So I need to know
Oh, man.
what about each one, and it basically came down to like radio without selling out.
Huh.
And it's like, you can't. You don't.
You
like,
do one or the other.
Selling out.
and the thing is, like, selling out's such a dumb fucking
I like
phrase.
to sell out arenas
Yeah.
and sell
Yeah.
I like
What
to
a
sell.
dumb- What a dumb fucking... Oh, you selling out? If you
I sold
mean
out
that
of
I
merch.
like to make
I mean,
money...
just like Ursula show up and
Yes.
say, well, unfortunately, I know a little magic.
yeah.
Little Mermaid reference.
Like, it's just... God forbid someone wants to make money with music. Call them a sellout. Like, that's what... Yeah.
That's fine.
But that's what happens is people get so much in this headspace of, like, calling it selling out or referring to it as this, like, dark art of, like, oh, it's not music if it's going to be successful. Okay, well then, you play your basements and your pizza shops and your whatever.
Wow, you're really
You
hitting.
hold that song close to
You're
your
hitting
heart.
some like.
Hitting Greensboro. you do. I mean,
Shots
we
were
played pizza
fired
shops
on
in
the street.
Fayetteville. You know, like an And by
Yeah.
Love did that shit. But you play your hole in the wall spots,
Yeah.
and you do you.
And enjoy it.
And yeah, if you're happy, I have no interest in
But don't bash
in
people.
anyone changing.
Yeah.
If you're happy with what your art is, perfect. That's the goal.
Yeah.
You should be happy. But if you're like, oh, I'd love to be more successful, and I'd love to play an arena someday. Okay. Well, to get there, what you're doing needs to be refined into a more commercial version. And people don't want to hear that shit. People are like, oh, that's selling out. Like, okay, cool. Well, then you continue to tour as
Work your
often as
day
you can
job,
and work your day job and play whatever shows and be happy.
I mean,
because that's
you can,
what you got.
You can apply it to any industry ever. Like,
sure.
Like, look at cars, for instance. You know, like Toyota, Honda are popular. So what did the American Ford brand do? They started making the futuristic looking, you know, like SUVs, and look at the trucks. Like, they're all the same. They see what sells, they see what you want, and they make it. So don't... And there are companies that make the very boutique cars, but they stay boutique. If you want to be a boutique artist, don't bash people who don't want to be a boutique, you know? That's just it. I think bashing comes from not happy, unsuccessful musicians. Insecurity shining through.
Well, that's what I was saying a while ago with that guy you were talking about. I can already tell you what kind of person he was.
Yeah.
And what he's doing with his life. He's upset with it. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? So...
Yeah. Because if you're 100% happy with where you are, you don't have time or the mindset to bash somebody else.
You should be happy for them because you're blessed and they're blessed with whatever they are
Yeah.
doing in the field of music. So,
Like, nothing makes me happier than I see something really weird, really popular.
yep.
I'm like, you found your niche and killed it. You deserve it.
Well, and you figured out how to not Because John Mayer gives a speech at Berkeley about this. If you want to be at radio, you're going to have to write the radio singles.
Yeah, for sure.
And then the rest of the record can be whatever the fuck you want.
Yeah.
Like, but you have to conform to some point if that's the success you want. There's a trade-off. And when someone figures out, because it doesn't mean don't be a rock band. It doesn't mean don't be a metal band. It doesn't mean don't be a weird indie band. It just means figure out how to take this thing you love and make a commercial, make a digestible version of it. And people, it will be tasty if they do it right.
Well, make the amount of money you need to be able to fund what you actually want to do.
Yeah. So,
Well, I mean,
I think that
yeah. Well, we got one. We can end it with a fun topic.
Fun topic.
Did you guys decide which one you wanted to hit on?
I don't know if either of those are necessarily fun. Fortnite will be the most fun.
Okay.
Well, it's not like
It's
fun.
definitely
it's
not
just,
unusual.
It's not unusual to be.
You have to get the. Hey, never mind.
Has anyone in here played Fortnite?
What's games?
No,
Oh, it's games.
I don't play games. That keeps it real. What if Ariana was a Fortnite character?
Well, she'd probably be in a state of mind that she wants to be in, like, all of the time. And she'd have no tears left to cry. She'd pick it up. She'd love, and
What
she'd
would-
live, and she'd
What would
turn
be
it
her
up.
dance that
She'd
she'd
just keep breathing.
that she'd
Right.
sue over? What would be her dance that she'd sue
The
over?
ponytail pull.
The ponytail pull.
Or whip.
The whip. All right, well, we just hit them both, so.
So I just want to say this before we end that Carlton is suing Fortnite, and I don't think I've ever been more excited about something.
Well, he's going to make some money.
If he wins.
If he wins. He probably won't win. That's kind of
You
ridiculous.
don't think he'll win?
I don't
No,
know.
because of
That opens the floodgates.
the copyright lawyers have already spoken about this with other like Millie Wop. The Millie Rock is the dance.
Millie Wop. That's two dances.
He's really mad about this.
He's Millie mad.
He let every block know. He was really mad on every block.
He was mad.
Mad.
Man.
But a bunch of artists want to sue Fortnite right now because
They want a susu.
Because they got money.
they're making money on the backs of other people's creative endeavors.
Yeah. Well,
But it's too bad you can't copyright a single dance move.
yeah. That'd be like
That's like when
Floyd
Kanye,
Mayweather wanting to copyright a punch.
or when
No one else can
Kanye
use
tried
this
to
punch.
Kanye
It's mine.
sue Kelly Clarkson.
Oh,
Over-
that was ridiculous.
What did he
doesn't-
try to do?
What
Stronger.
doesn't kill you makes
Oh
you
yeah,
stronger.
the word stronger.
No, it was that whole phrase.
Does he say that?
That don't
Don't
kill
kill
me.
me.
Oh, okay.
Only make me stronger.
Oh,
But it's like a common phrase that
Yeah.
people use throughout history. So
yeah.
that's ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing is he lost. He couldn't sue her. It's like what do you like?
What are you
You can't copyright words. It's melody. It's progressions. It's like it's a whole body of work you're copywriting. You can kind of copyright words. The guys that Let's Get Ready to Rumble is trademarked. I don't
Yeah.
think it's copywritten.
Yeah.
Remember the cheese? Let's get ready to crumble. They like used to sell cheese crumbles
Nope.
to toss
They get sued.
Uh-huh.
top over salads.
Nope.
No, it had nothing.
Parody
No,
law.
I'm sure they paid them all. To say
What
that on
cheese
the
was that?
commercial. Kraft crumbles.
I've never heard of it.
Let's
Yeah.
get ready to crumble over the salad
Over the salad.
with this deadly romaine lettuce.
Are we gonna play a song
It
to
will
end?
kill you.
No.
Well, it was fun, guys. Thanks for coming on the show.
So much
Thanks.
fun.
It's the show.
This
Our
was
cast. Do you call it a show?
Our
Podcast.
pod show. Our podcast show.
Okay.
Our showcast. Eventually there will be cameras.
Thanks for sharing your time with us.
God, there wasn't cameras
Stu
this time.
Me too.
There were cameras last time?
Was there?
No.
Oh yeah, because
We were live. We were
Not
Facebook
that you
Live.
knew about.
Yeah, we went Facebook Live.
Oh,
Yeah.
that is true.
Yeah.
Is that there evidence of that anywhere
Right
in the
now.
world?
I haven't
Probably
seen
on
it.
Facebook, but it's so buried.
Okay, good.
Married.
But
A
cool.
lot.
Thank you guys. Let's let's write this song because it's a
Let's
cool
do it.
track. I
It
don't
is
know,
Let's
just kinda
co-write.
like it.
Let's cheat, right?
Let's cheat.
Thank you guys. If you dig this,
Cheat.
if you dig this, like, subscribe, share with your friends.
Screenshot, screen time.
Screen time it.
Screenshot it. Tag us in it. If you don't like what we said, DM us. We'll argue with you.
Or just comment.
that.
Comment,
that
tell us
too.
we're dumb, and we'll tell you you're dumb, and we can get into it on the internet. Because that's where people solve the real world problems.
Exactly.
Thank you guys for hanging out. This has been Stu Time.